Hey everybody, Guan 15. Okay, so let's look into sectors. Sectors are going to be very necessary in your game. Even if you have a large core empire, like 14 planets, that's a lot. Eventually you might go over that, you're going to need to create sectors. What sectors are areas of space that are not directly controlled by you. You can set their policies, but you don't actually directly control them at all. So now we went ahead and this is our little area right here, and we decided to expand down to here. Now there was like 4 or 5 really good planets down here, including a Gaia one over here that was being protected by a bunch of those crystalline entity thingies. So we went and took care of them with our glorious grand fleet over here. And now we're going to create this area and turn it into a sector. Now, one thing that's important to note about sector is every resource that you put into that sector goes to the sector and not to you. So it's very easy to go overboard when you're creating a sector and make it so you're not getting enough resources. So I like to give them enough resources, but also you can directly influence how many resources they receive, which is something I like to do a little bit better. So let's create a sector down here. We're going to go and create planets and sectors. We're going to create a new sector. Now, you can kind of see this is the management mode. It tells me how much it costs right here if I remove it. And there's all these pluses all over the place. The pluses are going to allow me to basically create a swath of space that is contiguous that creates a sector. So I'll start with this little planet here. And you notice I can't add these ones. They're X'd out. I can't add these ones because they're contiguous. Everything needs to be contiguous, otherwise it doesn't work. So I am going to, let's see here, we're going to want, and unfortunately I don't think I'll be able to add this one, but let's see. Let's make these guys go over here. This is going to be 1, and I'll give them these 7, even though yeah, I'll give it to them, just because they're going to be using a lot of resources. It takes a little bit of influence, which I'm running a little low after colonizing a bunch of planets, to create a sector, and then every time you edit it, like you add or subtract more regions from it, it also costs some money. So there, we just created a sector, and you can kind of see on the map, it's still part of our domain, but it's a sector, it's being directly controlled. If we go up to planets and sectors, you can see these are all our planets. And this is our sector right here, which we can also scroll into to tell us all the different planets that are part of it, and the populations and such. We can assign a leader, our governor, which sometimes helps if they have the, not worrying about leaders right now. So these new planets are all going to need rapid development, lots of resources development. They're not going to be receiving very many resources because, let's look, we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 21, 22, 23, 25. This whole sector only makes 25 resources, or minerals. That's not a lot in order to build up 4 or 5 planets. So from time to time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my planets and sectors, and I'm just going to dump resources into them. This button here lets you kind of put resources, so let's put 1,000 energy into them, and we'll put, I think we can use shift, yeah, or control. We'll put 5,000 minerals into that. And the governor, who's just the AI, random AI with no bonuses, is going to use that those resources. So as we let time go by here, we should see that these resources are going to drop. And there they go. They're starting to use them. This right here is how much of the production goes back to us every month. We don't want a lot, so I'm going to drop it down to 0 right now. In the future, we can move that back up. We can move it from 25 to 75%. But for now, I want them to be using everything for themselves. We don't need anything. Let's actually go into here. You can manage the sector. Oops, nope, that's the thing that does that. We want to go into sector settings. This tells us exactly, or allows us to guide a little bit what type of sector we want them to focus on. We can choose from balanced, agriculture, industrial, research, or financial. I'm going to do balanced because I'm not worried. I kind of want them eventually to be able to take care of themselves. Space construction is checked. That means that they'll go ahead and they'll develop all these resources in here. Redevelopment means they can change the buildings whenever they want. I don't want them to colonize. If there was other planets here they could colonize, I'm just going to keep that off for now. And I really don't want them building military stations because I'm pretty sure we have to fit the bill for those. So I'll deal with those. So that is sectors. This sector, I should probably rename it, I suppose. Huh? Yeah. Let's rename this the Bird Prime sector. They're going to do their thing. They're going to develop as they go. We will probably be terraforming them ourselves because they cost a lot of energy to terraform. Energy is one thing we're kind of low on right now. I will be going through and research and surveying the two that I haven't found, and then probably colonizing. Okay, I think this is the one that I can't colonize unless. Let's take a look. So what's interesting is when your world gets a little bit bigger, when your universe gets a little bit bigger, I mean, you can kind of see. Let's take a look at our demographics. We have a few. We're Avery. That's our main world. And we got the Shrek is 2%, and Yuri is 4%, and the Arachnopala are 4%. The Yuri come from over here, the Shrek come from over here, and I think the Arachnopala come from up here somewhere. So if you notice, this right here, this planet, this tundra planet is green. It tells me I have 75% habitability. That's not for me. I can't actually send a colony ship there with my normal avian peoples and colonize that. It'll tell me it's not enough. So I go down to colonize. Actually, I'm going to hover over the availability here, or make sure you can see that. There you go. You'll see the Avery, I only have 35% habitability. I can't actually colonize that. But what I can do is find some Yuri that are in my empire and have them colonize it. So I'm not sure where my Yuri are. Where could they be? I wonder if there's a really easy way to find a Yuri. I bet you there are. Let's kind of search. Who's this guy? That's the Shrek. Yuri, there we go. So on Nielsen Prime over here, we're going to go into, we're going to have a spaceport. We're going to build a colony ship, which lets us select which race we want to colonize with. This is what our normal one is, but we're going to pick the Yuri because they're going to be able to colonize that where we can't. So that colony ship is going to be able to colonize here where our normal majority of species cannot. So this is what I meant when I was getting at that eventually your empire is going to be a whole bunch of different species, and it matters which ones you work about. So these are all the species that are in our world. I mean, you can see the Avery, our main population, are definitely the biggest, but as we go on, these should definitely become more integrated, and it actually allows us to kind of modify and change them as we go. So that's it for now. Just wanted to mention sectors, and as we go, we'll have plenty more sectors to choose from. All right, thanks.